Hello everybody, greetings and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Just came in from being outside and at work and thought I would definitely do my video now. I should have done it earlier, but you know how it is. This person wants to talk to you about that, and this person wants to talk to you about this, and both people want to talk to you at the same time, and then you can't get anything done. That's what happens. So now I'm on my own, by myself, so I get to do this. So we're doing the series we're running for the month of December, which is Progressive Rock Solo Artist Album Wars. And we're doing, this is episode number 6, or battle number 6, if you prefer that kind of terminology. And the two combatants this time, well, before we get too far, just so you know what we're doing, Ben has put together 32 bands, 16 battles for the first round, pitting them up against each other, and my job is to listen to them and then pick one. Basically, that's what it is. So today's combatants are this album, which I happen to own, Phil Collins' Face Value. I think I have about 6 or 7 of his albums now. And he's going up against Todd Rundgren, Initiation from 1975. This album is actually from 1981. So, two pretty good albums, I must admit. I wasn't sure about the Todd Rundgren one, mostly because I haven't listened to a lot of his stuff. This one's a little bit different than the last one, but because I think the last one I listened to was Todd Rundgren's Utopia one, so very different than this. But anyways, we'll start with the Phil Collins. So this is an album I've had for, well, the CD, this particular CD is in pretty rough shape actually, and I've had this probably for about 30 years, but I had a vinyl and a cassette version of this before that. This was, to me, the beginning of Phil Collins' solo career and of his first solo album, so that's why it would be that. But he's always had a kind of special place for me. If it was any other musician doing some of the type of music he's done, I probably wouldn't listen to it as much. But because it's him, I tend to be a little more forgiving. Because my first two albums with Phil Collins singing lead vocals were Trick of the Tail and Wind in the Wuthering, both of which I love. So this album I like. I don't know. I don't think it's my favorite Phil Collins. It's probably in the top 3 though, 3rd or 4th, anyways. But I do like it a lot. I'm just looking for my glasses right here in front of me. So anyways, so this has 12 tracks on it, which was quite a bit for that time period. Of course, the iconic In the Air Tonight, probably overplayed, but I still like it. It was the song my daughter used to, she loved this song and played all the time. So we had to play it all the time. Must Be Love, another pretty good track on here. Hand to Hand, I don't mind that track. I Missed Again, of course, yeah. I like that song a lot as well. If Leaving Me Is Easy. This is the one track on the album I really don't care for. And there's a few others that are kind of mishy-mashy, kind of wishy-washy in some ways. This album came out during that period of time, right around Duke and, was it Abacab or was it Genesis? One of those two, I can't remember. Anyways, and this also has Tomorrow Never Knows, which is probably my favorite Beatles song. And he does a good version of it. He does a really good rendition of it. I think this is a pretty poppy album for the most part, although In the Air Tonight, of course, is a fairly heavy song for, and it has that iconic drum thing that kind of started on Intruder from Peter Gabriel. That's where he did it. I think that's where he did it first, but kind of not that particular same drum fill, but that similar style. Yeah, so I really quite like this album. I think it's one of his better ones for sure. And he was just entering the field at that time. So the challenger, or his opponent, is probably a better term, because he's not really challenging him. It's more of an opponent. is Todd Rundgren's Initiation from 1975. I actually listened to the entire album. At first I thought it's kind of got a bit of a poppy sound to it, but to be honest, I think, sorry, something in my throat. To be honest, I think it is probably the most progressive of any of the albums we've done up till now. It's a pretty progressive album. His guitar work is really good guitar work here. He's just all over the place with this album as far as the guitar work goes. But he's also, there's a lot of synthesizer and programming type of things on this album too. Sorry. Yeah, it is getting late. Yeah, so there's a lot of that synthesizer sound that you get with these kind of spacey kind of feel to them. Not as much as you would get with Hawkwind or maybe Eloy or something like that, but it definitely has that kind of, that little bit of that spacey sound to it. Very poppy at points, but the guitar work is extraordinary. The only thing about the album is there's not a great deal of vocals, which means it's probably an opposite. Where I'm really having a hard time staying awake. Phil Collins, of course, is dominated by vocals, and Todd Rundgren's dominated by guitar. Both very good albums, I think. I don't think Todd Rundgren really had much of a chance to win this, though, because he's up against somebody who I've had a lot of listening to, whose voice I like a lot, and this album I've had a lot. So it would be tough for him to win this based on one listening. But I think in time it could be a real close battle. I just, the only thing about it, there's not a lot of vocals on it, and I tend to be a person that enjoys vocals more than just plain instrumental, so that kind of is it probably hurt him a bit, but not a lot. So for this battle, we're going to give Phil Collins the leeway here and his Face Value album to go on to the next round. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of progressive rock solo artist with album wars. Boy, I'm just really losing it now. I probably should have made this a couple of hours ago. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Be much appreciated. And we will be back tomorrow with another episode of... I just can't remember nothing now. I just completely lost it. Anyways, we'll be back with another episode of progressive rock, solo artist, album wars. There. Wow. I really need to get some sleep. Anyways, I hope everybody has a good night, and we will see you tomorrow morning when this comes out, and then I'll do the next one on the next night. I was going to do them both tonight, but time is of the essence. Take care. Bye.